Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Learnings from Life. Today we are going to study about the email etiquettes. That is, what should be a good structure of an email and what are the tips of writing an email. So let's get started. What is an email? Email, we all know, is electronically transfer of information from the sender to the receiver. So some form of information is there which is getting transferred from the sender to the receiver through electronic mode, that is through the computers. What is the structure of an email? Every email we know has one, the subject line. Second, it has a greeting element. Third, it has a body, that is the content. And the last is the closing part of an email. So let's see one by one. First, the subject. Guys, subject line should accurately describe the content and it should give the reader a concrete reason to open the message. Subject is the only thing which pops up in the inbox of the receiver. So it should have it should describe about the content in the subject. A clear subject line will help a busy professional to decide whether your email is worthwhile opening or not. So we have to be very cautious when we write the subject line in professional emails. Let's see some examples. First, some bad examples. Subjects which are having blank, which do not have anything written, are a bad example of a subject. Don't do that. Subject with hi and hello, it will directly go to the spam folder and not remain in the inbox. Subject like meeting, what meeting, where meeting, when the meeting, nothing is written in the subject, it's a poor subject line. Then subject with read the important, read immediately. If it is so very important, call. If it is so very important, write about what is that importance in the subject line. Don't just write important, read immediately. This will also go to the spam folder. Next is subject quick question. What's the quick question? Write that question in the subject if it is that very quick. Write about it. Follow about Friday. Which Friday? If the receiver knows which Friday, then it's well and good. If doesn't know, it's a poor subject. Subject like the file you had requested. It's better to mention the file number which is talked about rather than the file you had requested. So these are all bad examples. Subject should not be like that. It should adequately describe the content. Let's see some good examples. A subject with this tag like process meeting, 10 a.m. and date, time, date and the content. This is a very good subject line. Subject like all cars in the lower lot will be towed in an hour, means within an hour an action will be taken. So it is adequately describing the receiver to open the message and see what is it all about. Subject like 10 confirmed for Friday. We will need a larger room. Immediately the attention of the receiver will go for getting the larger room with this subject line, sticking to the content. Subject like could you please send the February sales report. Sometimes you write the entire message in the subject itself, provided the receiver knows what is EOM, that is end of message. So if the receiver knows it, you can write the entire content in one line in the subject itself. That's it. So after the subject line comes the greeting parts. How you are going to make a connect with the receiver. See, email, even if it is a form of written communication, makes a connect and a rapport with the receiver. Both sender and the receiver should have a connect with each other. So what should be the greeting like? When writing an email, avoid the temptation to dive directly into your request on the very first line. Some people have the habit of writing in the first line, writing what they need. Rather than this, you have to first develop a greeting. You have to address that person. You have to give a proper salutation to that person. Open with an appropriate salutation. This can make a professional impression while helping you to connect with the recipient. Be sure to use the appropriate level of formality. Don't be too informal when you're writing a professional email. I can give some examples. If you are unsure of who the recipient is, you can write Dear Sir or Madam. If you are sure whom you are writing, you can give a formal greeting. It's generally best to use dear along with the Mr. or Miss or whatever the situation, whatever the salutation is, followed by the person's last name. For example, Dear Mr. Sinha, Dear Miss Gandhi. For a less formal greeting, whom you know to the person and you have a little bit of informal rapport with the person within in the office, you can just connect the use of person's first name followed by a comma, like Dear Sonia, Dear Rahul, Dear Tanuj, and so on. So this will make a connect with that person. Third, we come to the body part of the email. That is the most important part, which is the content of the email. That is why we are writing the mail. Always remember the overall objective of your email, the cause of writing a letter, the cause of writing the email. It should be clearly visible in the content part. So one has to keep the messages clear and brief. Use bullet points if there are too many issues. Give space between lines so that it is clear, concise mail, and then check the tone of your writing. Use such kind of words which are not derogatory to the receiver. Email also makes a connection, as I said, with the receiver. So you have to check the tone of words which you are writing in the content. Let me show a good and a bad example. See first the bad example. Emma, I need your report by 5 p.m. today or I'll miss my deadline. Harry, this is very blunt mail. Rather than writing this way, the good tone could be, Hi Emma or Dear Emma, thanks for all your hard work on that report. Now with this thanks in the first line, the sender has tried to create a connect with the receiver with the Emma. Could you please get your version over to me by 5 p.m.? It's putting a question mark on her that yes, if she can help, that's very good, so that I don't miss my deadline. Now Emma will understand that Harry is going to miss the deadline if she is not giving the version by 5 p.m. So with that connect, the tone becomes a little softer and the message will also reach Emma that she has to give the report, she has to give the version to Harry by 5 p.m. So the work is also done and the tone is beautiful. And with a thanks so much, you are even creating a good tone. Now last part of the email is the closing part. In closing, the most important thing is include a call to action in the last line. Means what you want the receiver to do, whether you want a reply email, whether you want a report back, whatever your email was purposed for, whether you want just for reference, that should come in the last line, that this is the action the receiver has to take on the email. Don't forget to write that. Then just as you want to start off things in the right foot with your greeting, you also want to part well. That means writing a friendly sign off. How will you write? Example like best wishes, sincerely, thanks again, thanks and regards, like that. And end your email with your signature. And please write complete information in your signature, your name, your designation, your department, your company name, contact number, address for correspondence, etc. With this we come to the structure part, and now it is the postscript which has to be. Some emails have postscripts. What is postscripts? It refers to a sentence, a phrase, or a short paragraph after the signature block. The idea is that the postscript is the last minute addition to the email. In emails, the postscript may include an extra call to action or even a special offer. For example, like I nearly forgot to tell you, if you sign in with our newsletter by the end of this month, that November 30th, we'll add a free month to your support the plan. That is something extra you are adding in the last minute. So that can in the postscript. You can also write note and give that note. That's also fine as far as professional email is concerned. So these were the steps, these were the structure of an email. Now we come to some very important do's and don'ts in professional email. So these are always to be done in email. Number one, Always proofread your email before clicking the send button. Please make it a habit of rechecking it once again. Read it once before you click the send button. No matter how urgent it is, just read it once. I am sure you will definitely find some corrections to be done. Next, always respond promptly in email. When you get an email from the sender, it is important to reply back immediately. You might not take the action immediately, but just reply that okay, I'll get back to you later, or sure, this will be done, or whatever. You can make the promises, but no false promise in email, but you can always respond that very moment. Maybe the task can be taken on until later end. This will give an acknowledgement of your email. Then always retain original sender's message. Don't delete the message while you are replying back in email. Next, always be cautious in sending CC and BCC in mail. CC, carbon copy. BCC is blind carbon copy. So when you have to copy email to someone, please copy only if it is required. Don't unnecessarily fill the mailbox of the receiver in CC. And BCC should not be done in professional emails. Now, what things should strictly never be done in emails? Never send an email when you are angry and frustrated. Please don't do that. Even if you get such an email which tempts you, which makes you feel that no, I have to reply back to this person, just be calm that very moment. Go have a cup of coffee, or maybe leave that for an hour. Next day when you read that draft, you will find that it was too heavy for the sender. So it is always better not to send an email when you are angry or frustrated. Even if you have drafted it, just keep it and do it and send it at a later time. Then second, never write email in capital letters. It is like shouting. This is bad etiquettes. Never use emojis in professional email. No smileys, no crying face or happy face. It is very, very unprofessional. Never assume privacy in an email. If you think that you're writing the email to someone and that will be held private, please don't be mistaken. That email can be forwarded to any person without your knowledge. So never assume privacy. Remember a good motto: praise in public and criticize in private. So when you have to praise someone, you can use email, but if you have to criticize, don't write on email. Never put defamatory comments, harassments, accusing someone, promising a quid pro quo, or promising something that cannot be delivered in email. Never do that, because it is a written proof. So let's see some things which can be avoided. Avoided means neither it will be in always nor it will be never, but you can, if you wish, you can avoid them. 1. Avoid chain mails. Prefer to pick up a phone rather than replying. The sender sends you a mail, you reply back to him, then he will again write to you. So this is a chain mail. Avoid writing chain mails. Either prefer to pick up the phone and talk to that person. So what is the matter? Discuss it and finish it off that very moment. Next, avoid reply all. See, reply all can be very, very dangerous. Avoid doing that. If you really want all the members to whom the message was sent need to know about your reply, then only give a reply all. Otherwise, avoid it. Just do a reply message. Then avoid using slangs in professional email, like thanks for your help today for a great, BR, best regards, thanks for letting me know, T4LMK, EOM, end of message, FYKY, for your kind information. Don't use such kind of words in professional email. These are slangs which the other person might not be knowing. So it's better use correct English. Make sure of your spelling and punctuation marks and grammar in the email also. And email challenges is, guys, emails are not confidential. They are not private. We are always pressing the send button very soon. That has to be remembered. Don't press the send button very soon. Always reread, proofread your mail, even if it is urgent. And emails can be forwarded and sent to others without your approval or knowledge. So please be careful in writing email. Communication works for those who works for it. With this, I would like to say a thank you. I hope this video was helpful. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel if you really feel it was good. Stay blessed. Take care. Thank you.